Now, this is what's going on in the United States of America. We have been taken over by a group of hardcore liberal fascists. They are spying on Americans. They're closing down town hall meetings. They're smearing anybody who stands up to them. They're putting their minions in Nazi uniforms in order to smear them, a Saul Alinsky trick learned from the Bolsheviks.
When do we ever run those who are bankrupting our country and literally stealing our children's future out of town? Grab a torch.
His number one goal is to expand government and pass his ideological agenda about health care, about income redistribution.
Barack Obama, ladies and gentlemen, is going to spend more money than any other human being in the history of civilization.
There is no excuse. Not only Neil Bortz is he unfit to be a senator, he is certainly unfit to be president. Sean,
we just don't need it.
Obama is completely polarizing.
Lockstep down this, the socialist path.
the revolution of 1776 was a picnic compared to what the revolutionaries of today would like to do. It's not a lot of fun. Usually millions of people die. Will be rivers of blood if we don't have values and principles.
I stand with you, Glenn.
You pick up a gun? Have you ever thought of that? These people have. Because possibly, maybe the question should be asked, maybe they're tired of evolution and maybe they are waiting for revolution.
So I shamelessly say no. I want him to fail. I want him to fail. So I shamelessly say no. I want him to fail. I want him to fail.
This jerk grew up in an apartment somewhere in New York where he was fed socialist tripe, which is why he is one.
As he asked folks to start ratcheting down the rhetoric, was all talk. He wasn't sincere in that, and that's typical Barack Obama, unfortunately. That is typical of our president, where it's blah, blah, blah. You know, it's all talk and no real action.
You see, Obama's Leninism comes in many forms for those of you who are naive enough to believe that I don't know what I'm talking about. Obama himself is the individual expression of government elitism. He attended fancy schools. He befriended radical chic elitists like William Ayers. He believes that government, when staffed by fellow elitists, can do almost anything. It can run businesses, defeat market forces, and control the weather. It can even cure cancer. Obama sounds smart, so it must all be true, argue his followers.
Is going to transform our society using the instrumentalities of government against us. And yet they do it in our name, have you noticed? Even though we, the people, we reject it. None of this. We want this long national nightmare to end.
Have a message for them. This is not symbolic. This is why we were sent here, and we will not stop until we repeal a president and put a president in the position of the White House who will repeal this bill, until we repeal the current Senate.
Madcap, insane liberals that you will find blogging, that you will find emailing, that you will find on the protest march. Their lives are basically meaningless.
We have the most disreputable, the most dishonest 100 days in American political history.
All hail the Messiah, Obama, Obama, the path to the new socialist motherland. Our Savior, Obama, Obama, the leader more famous than Lindsay Lohan. Go down and praise the one. Give him your money and your guns. Give us a country that makes your wife proud. Lord, bury the bitter ones, white and clinging to faith and to guns. Oh, for the change of the hope of the change.
Exactly what happened to the lead up with Hitler.
We have a president whose foreign policy can only be described as anti-American.
Day number 94 of change that makes us less safe and secure.
The banana republic politics. Is Obama going to show spine for the first time in his presidency?
Is Obama a radical figure in American politics?
He went on foreign soil and apologized for America. We're celebrating the first 100 days of Barack Obama's
100 days
tenure.
of America going down the drain.
It is out of Orwell's 1984. And we certainly don't demonize the opponents the way we do. We may ridicule them, make jokes about them, but the way they turned George Bush into the enemy, a Nazi, George Soros and Al Gore, and have all compared him to Hitler. He was compared to Osama bin Laden by a New York Times op-ed writer.
Arguing with idiots, smart debate with dimwits, truth for those who care to look, and another way to sell our book.
President Obama, why don't you just set us on fire?
We don't know what he is. That's the whole point. And people don't care what he is. They don't care who he is. They care that he's black. They care that he's historic. They care that they think he's an intellectual because of the way he speaks. It's all about how he speaks. I mean, I look at some of the facial expressions of people when they're watching the guy. It's frightening. But I'm a thinker.
other than that, he really seems to have been coasting since his first big accomplishment, which was being born half black.
That our man-child president of color not only has failed to bring us together, he has driven us further apart.
Everything that is getting pushed through Congress, including this health care bill, they are all driven by President Obama's thinking on one idea: reparations. His goal is creating a new America, a new model, a model that will settle old racial scores.
I think you are right and the president is wrong. Then why is it that they want to force health care down our throats as if there were some authority for this in the Constitution?
Just as they've done with everything, Judge. First of all, Barack Obama, the Messiah, is a socialist. And also, you have to realize that Obama is no different than Jeremiah Wright Jr., the NAACP and others. They hate white Americans, and they especially hate the white man and what they want to do. That's why Obama said that he believed in the redistribution of wealth, because they want to take the power away from the quote-unquote white man and give it to the people who they think deserve it, and it's the people of color.
All right.
This is a dangerous man. He should not be trusted.
If Obama had not been African American, he had never been elected.
This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people or the white culture. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that he doesn't like white people. I'm saying he has a problem. This guy is, I believe, a racist.
The beginning of this horror picture show. I think people have no idea what's coming down the pike. This is the crown jewel of socialism.
Point is, it'll never come back with a $4 or $5 gallon of gasoline, and Obama doesn't get it.
Wait, you're blaming him now for the $4 or $5 gallon of gasoline?
Absolutely. Why? He's got Lisa Jackson at the EPA. He's got he's got Salazar. How's this?
How is the president responsible for speculators driving up gas prices?
You know who he nominates for the Department of Commerce secretary job?
Yeah.
An eco-terrorist, John Bryson.
Get out of here. The man who runs the biggest utility in America.
Juan, you know he started that environmental group that has done nothing.
Okay, but he's the biggest utility operator in America. How's that not a businessman?
Try and push us. His quote: "We should be off oil and gas completely within 20 years." That will never happen.
You don't like the president's policies. We'll see how it goes, because the economy is not in any good shape by any means. I agree with you there.
But now in the last year, I've seen the political establishment advising Obama that if you don't have a new Oklahoma City or 9/11 to blame the Tea Party, your political career is over. And there's new reports out where they're basically calling for a stage crisis, a war. Obama's saying he's not worried about al-Qaeda. He's worried about lone wolf domestic groups. And remember, about a month ago, Homeland Security put out all these new PSAs where almost everyone in it is a white person. And if you've got a cell phone, if you're wearing a hoodie, you're a terrorist.
Yeah, right. Independent, patriotic Americans who desire fiscal sanity in our beloved nation being called terrorists. Heck, Sean, if we were real domestic terrorists, shoot, President Obama would be wanting to pal around with us.
We are not surrendering to this. Soft tyranny, hard tyranny, it's all tyranny. They're going to tell us what kind of health insurance we can have? Really? Not without a fight.
Look at the other communist dictatorships on the planet and tell me, is that where you want to live? Because that's where you're going to live. You're going to live there as sure as I'm standing here, because they're taking away every brick of freedom in this country, one brick at a time. And they're being found out, and they're being called out on it, not by everyone by any means, but by a few brave souls.
Plus an exclusive first look at what is soon to be a New York Times #1 bestseller. It's the explosive, controversial new book, Demonic, How the Liberal Mob is Endangering America. It hits stores tomorrow morning. Best-selling author Ann Coulter is here. First of all, the book... To come up with this title, Demonic, which they'll freak out about.
Right.
Why? How do
well, I began the book with the scene in the Bible when Jesus approaches the possessed man, and the possessed man's screaming, he's out of his mind, he's naked, he's running around.
Legion.
Don't torture me, don't torture me. And Jesus, there's a little exchange. Jesus says, what is your name? And he answers, my name is Legion. Then the demons run out of him. The demon's name is Legion. The demon is always a mob. And you see this over and over again in real-life exorcisms. They talk to the possessed, and it's always they. Satan saying, they all belong to me. And this is, I mean, it's part of why liberals are a mob and are so obsessed with status and power. Americans have always understood the danger of mobs. They are always dangerous. They are always demonic. But the point is, Nixon came in, shut it down. There was the shooting at Kent State, and gosh, I know liberals don't like it, and you look on Nexus and, oh, the whole country was embarrassed. Well, I'm not embarrassed. That's what you do with a mob.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We're at the point of determination. The point of determination. And what is that determination? Whether we live free as mature citizens in the greatest country of the world, or whether a relative handful of temporary politicians, most of whom will be gone in 10 or 20 years, will be able to destroy this society and destroy the American dream for your children.
Obama is a radical communist, and I think it's becoming clear. That's what I told people in Illinois, and now everybody realizes it's true. He's going to destroy this country, and we're either going to stop him, or the United States of America is going to cease to exist. Kenyan relations say that he was born in Nairobi at a time when his mother was too young to transmit U.S. citizenship. So I'm not even sure he's president of the United States. No, that's not a laughing matter. Neither are many of our military people now who are going to court to ask the question, do we have to obey a man who is not qualified under the Constitution? We're in the midst of the greatest crisis this nation has ever seen. And if we don't stop laughing about it and deal with it, we're going to find ourselves in the midst of chaos, confusion, and civil war. It's time we started acting like grown-ups.
Like it or not, fascism is on the rise.
This is an attack on you. This president saw you at the rallies. He saw you as at these Tea Party events. He saw you at the town hall meetings. He reads the polls. He looks at the surveys. And you know what he says to you? Screw you.
Barack Obama is the worst president in history. And my generation will inherit a weakened country. Drug cartels in Mexico, tax cartels in D.C. What's happened to America? I love Arizona. I was raised right. Somebody has to go to Washington and knock the hell out of the place. My name's Ben Quayle, and I approve this message.
Because there's been no single president, we got into this with Karl Rove earlier, that has moved America away from free market capitalism to socialism. When you add up the numbers, he's going to quadruple the debt, $10 trillion, $806 billion on interest. Now, these are real numbers that we're going to ultimately pay for. A down payment of $634 billion on health care. On national security, embracing every dictator, cutting back on national defense, apologizing for America, Bill Cunningham, I think is beyond a pre-9/11 mentality. It is America, the appeasement mentality.
Sean, what we have here is this little boy who grew up in Jakarta, Indonesia at the age of 6 to 10, rejected by his own father, rejected by his own mother, rejected by his stepfather, raised by his grandparents, bowing before the king of Saudi Arabia, kissing the behind of every European socialist, saying okay to people like Ahmadinejad. We have the most disreputable, the most dishonest 100 days in American political history, and this guy actually believes it's good.
Okay,
this is unbelievable.
Let me just say something.
This is unbelievable.
Obama claims that his grandmother was scared of black men, which is why he didn't become one until he was 40.